And from the much-anticipated new movie, The Butler. The film is based on the true story of a White House butler who served 8 American presidents over 3 decades in the tumultuous civil rights battles that he witnesses along the way. We sat down with the film's co-star, Oprah Winfrey, and director Lee Daniels, and asked them why they thought this story was so important to tell.
This man is relentless. When we started working together, Lee Daniels the butler, Lee Daniels the director. When we started working together on Precious, and I came in as executive producer because I just wanted to lift that up as high as I could. He said to me, I'm frustrated with you. Mm-hmm. You're frustrated with me?
Yeah.
Because I had to act.
Wait, hold on. You don't say that to Oprah. Oh. You don't even wear shoestrings. How can you definitely say that to Oprah? What are you doing?
Well, he definitely did. I'm frustrated that I wasn't acting and I needed to do it, right?
Yeah, because she was so magnificent in The Color Purple.
She was.
Well, that was 2 decades ago.
So what? You were amazing. I remember it like it was really one of my favorite movies.
And that performance is embedded in my head. And you get frustrated that she's just sort of doing her Oprah thing. And I want her to do my thing. So I stalked her.
It's not like it wasn't like one of the biggest things in the world to do.
The Oprah thing really took up a lot of my time and energy. And after Beloved, which was not received as well as I wanted it to be received, I sort of put that away. I just decided, guys, that, I guess that wasn't supposed to be me being an actress. And the day job, as you know, takes up a lot of your time.
So how nervous were you going back on set?
I was nervous enough to take his advice and get an acting coach.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
It kind of worked out for me.
Did you find an acting coach who would actually say, hey, Oprah, that last line you delivered really sucked?
No.
Nobody says that to Oprah.
I said that.
You said
many times.
No, but the acting coach wouldn't say
the acting coach, listen, this acting coach, Susan Batson, who's worked with a lot of really great, and when she walks in the room, you can't believe, that's you? That's the great Susan Batson? She came to my house and she spent, I'd said to her I had trouble crying. You wouldn't think that I would, having seen me cry all the years on the Oprah show, but I do. I empathize, but when a director says, we need you to cry right now, if I see a scene where you're going to have to cry, I start getting anxiety about it. So when I read the script and saw that there were some moments where Gloria would need to go there, Lee said, call in Susan. And Susan sat with me for 20 minutes at my house in Santa Barbara. I was bawling on the sofa in 20 minutes. And then, what the first thing I said afterwards? You're the first people I told this. I said, I need a confidentiality agreement because I have just now poured out my soul. I just poured out my soul and I didn't have a confidentiality agreement. But she said, good thing with that because you still have all the vulnerable spaces. And if you're vulnerable and you can get in there, you can work on Gloria and you can bring her up.
You can draw it out.
So Lee, let's talk about the movie. The past month or two.
Trayvon is the Emmett Till of our era.
You look at what happened over the past month and the reaction to it. Suddenly you go, well, God, we've really come a long way in 50 years in some ways, and in other ways, we haven't at all.
I didn't do the movie for that. I did a movie because it was a father-son love story, and that transcends race. It's universal. And I have a 13-year-old son. At the time he was 13 when I got the script, and he's a teenager. I say white, he says black. I say night, he says day.
How old is your son?
17 now. I say go to bed, he says no. So I was like, is this ever going to stop? So it really was a love story, and with the civil rights movement in the back.
We found this out over the past month or two. It's heartbreaking for us to hear that black fathers still have to have the talk with their black sons. Eugene Robinson told us. Everybody at the commercial told us. Which is, son, if you get pulled over by the police, turn on the lights, keep your hands up here. Like, it's a matter of, as Gene said, it's a matter of life and death.
Don't do or say anything that might be threatening.
So it makes the father-son relationship much more complicated.
I'm sure you've had that conversation with your son, have you not?
And it's an embarrassing conversation to have. To be frank, I'd rather have the birds and the bees conversation. That's an easier conversation to explain why it is that you can't get a taxi, and yet your neighbors that are right in front of you in the same soccer outfit in the rain can get a taxi. And you can't. And why my son is following.
You'll have your assistant go out, hail a taxi. Because it'll be easier for your assistant to get a taxi than you.
So what's the answer when your son says why?
Yeah, but what you're forgetting to say, may I remind you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, what you're forgetting to say.
She's a director.
No, because I don't have to direct anymore. She's here.
Well, what you're forgetting to say is that one of the school,
Right.
and is not of this era and doesn't understand that. Remember you said that.
Know. They don't know. They don't know. They don't.
You did that
understand
very
the
well,
why.
by the way.
Thank you.
The
take
why.
direction.
Why she does. But the whys as to.
Our question is, what's it like to work with Oprah? But what is it like? Because you were frustrated. You wanted to see the actress and her come out. I agree with you.
Thank you.
I saw The Color Purple. Having
Thank
said
you.
that, she is Oprah.
Yeah, I was a little nervous
How
at
do you take
first.
control of that situation?
Well, I was a little nervous at first because she
Yeah.
but it was me. It wasn't her. It was me.
That's right.
It was me. And so when you see,
get that straight.
I'm dealing with, what my perception is with just one person taking you back and forth to your car, and you see her nervousness, her humility, her rawness, her openness to take direction, her fragility. And her vulnerability. I'm not just saying that because you're here.
Could you write that down?
But when you see all that,
Wow.
you almost feel
That gave me a
protective.
little,
You feel protective because because she's Oprah
She
and
came to
she's
work.
she's like
I came
a
to work.
girl.
But
She's
no,
like
the first day I came to work,
she was in tears.
I came to work the first day, though,
She's in tears?
fighting for Gloria because there were some things I was upset with in the script.
Like what?
Like,
No, we can't say. But here, I'm adamant about.
Can
you?
Like
yeah,
what?
we can.
Can we?
Well, first of all, he had. I thought that I'd done
I wanna
the work.
hear you say that.
I had done the work, and I knew who she was. So there's a scene where the president Kennedy has died, and my husband, the butler, hasn't been home for 3 days, and. In the original script, when he comes home,
Don't say it.
I know I can't say the word, but he had
sure you can.
he had 3 F-bombs from her when her husband comes home, and I said that's completely unrealistic. And Lee was like, she's upset and she's lonely and she does. I said, but during that time in the United States, I'm older than you are. I remember. I said she would have been sitting in front of the television. She would have seen Lee Harvey Oswald get shot by Jack Ruby. The whole country went into the same mood. And shock that we did when 9/11 happened, and so that is completely unrealistic.
But I didn't care, and I didn't care. And the only reason why the only reason why I swayed her way was that she started crying. She was that.
I was saying
she
this
started
is
crying.
not the
And I said,
character.
how can you?
Because that is.
She's going to pull those tears
Like
on
when I
me.
get a speeding
will
ticket.
tell
You win.
Mika will tell
You
you.
win.
On Morning Joe,
Yeah.
if I need to get something done, I start crying, and she just completely.
No, but I
But she
wasn't
was
crying
right.
for
She was
myself. I
right.
was
She was
crying
right.
because I just thought it was so wrong.
She was right.
And also, if he had his way, he
No.
wanted.
Oh, God.
He wanted me rolling in
Don't
the
do it.
bed with my next door neighbor. It's the two of you in the bed. I go,
Enough.
she cannot go to bed and be seen in the bed, in her husband's bed, in the bed where that
You
could not
just
be.
wanted to get Oprah in bed.
That's what he wanted.
That is disgraceful.
You should see the director's cut.
That was a fun interview. More coming up. The Butler airs, is out in theaters this Friday. Be sure to see it.
That looks amazing. That looks amazing.
I've heard amazing
And
reviews.
you said
so
she was
far.
great. Nice.
Really fun. We have more. We went into other topics as well. So more of our revealing conversation with Oprah Winfrey and Lee Daniels later in the show. What Oprah says was the key ingredient to making her network successful, far ahead of schedule, despite what everybody said in the press. Coming up next, there's 16 of the country's newest millionaires, and they have some interesting stories to tell. They're very likable. The Powerball winners, known as Ocean 16. Morning Joe will be right back.